What's up, guys? I hope you guys are doing well. I've got a bit of an interesting video for you guys today, and I know in one of my recent videos I spoke about when to move on from trading, which was basically about the signs and indications of when trading might not be for you. So I figured I'd flip it this time and I'll talk about the signs and indications of knowing when you think it could be soon or when you know you actually are going to become a consistently profitable or successful trader, whatever you want to call it, a winning trader. So I figured because now I'm seeing consistency and profitability in my own trading, I figured this is something that I could comment on now and just talk about the things which I've self-reflected on and I've seen in my own trading, and sort of the traits that you should be expecting to see in your own trading as well. Now, I know a lot of people will want to watch this video as a way of measuring themselves, but not against other people or the internet, but more so against themselves, because trading has no finish line or certainty as to when you're actually going to make it. There's no hard destination or finish line. There's a bit of uncertainty. But there are some signs that someone could see in themselves that, they could be either very close to becoming consistently profitable, they're on the right tracks and they just have to carry on with what they're doing, or they're really far away and they're not even close whatsoever, which is fine because at least it means that there's something to improve on, something to work on basically. I'm not going to be talking about the typical things like risk to reward and monetary results, percentages. I'm not going to be talking about any of these physical, statistical, technical ways of seeing progress in your trading, because it's not really a true reflection. Risk to reward, consistency, win rate, all these things. I'm not going to be talking about that. But those are all going to be byproducts of these skills that you've developed along your whole journey as a trader. All these years of hard work is what I'm going to be talking about, and the traits and who you are as a person, which is going to then create the byproduct of these physical monetary results that you're looking for. So the first sign would be having a clear trading plan. Now, what I mean by this is that you've obviously done your trading plans. You've obviously had your whole trading strategy, your rules, your whole plan. You've obviously done this so many times through repetition in the markets, doing this after so many years, and you get to a point where you just realize that you don't even need to look at your old notes anymore. You don't even need to look at old journals anymore, because in those early development stages of making the strategy, those are things that weren't working or early signs of what might work and might not work. But now you've obviously got to a more developed, more mature, more refined way of seeing your strategy now. You pretty much know it off the back of your head or the back of your hand even. And so it gets to a point where you can even just summarize your whole strategy in like just one sentence, or even on the back of a business card. That's how simple and yet effective your strategy should be. So the next sign is adaptability. So what I mean by this is not being able to marry a trade idea. This was something that I actually struggled with for quite a while earlier on in my trading journey, because I would work so hard on trying to, apply. I spend a lot of time basically analyzing the markets and trying to come up with where I think the markets would go for the week or the day. And sometimes I just wouldn't want to let go of that idea. I didn't want to be proven wrong, essentially. And this is actually another thing which may indicate that you'll become a successful trader, which is not wanting to be right all the time, not having to weigh so much emotion on the fact of you wanting to be right. And so similarly to this, you might also realize that in your trading now, you come in with no expectations, either very low or, if not, no expectations at all whatsoever. And what I mean by this is that you come into a trade, and let's say you take a trade, whether it be a win or loss, you're completely content with whatever happens. You've had enough losing streaks in order to realize that this is probably part of your trading plan. And if you're that well versed in your whole trading plan, and if you know at that point where these losses that you're taking are still in line with your rules, in line with your plan, but it just happens to be the case that you had losers back to back, as long as you're content with that, then that's also an amazing sign that you're going to become consistently profitable, because you're not weighing so much of yourself, your emotion, and your whole career on that losing streak. You've realized at that point that having these losers is a part of doing this business, And so this kind of just leads on to, or all of these things kind of stem on to discipline, basically, because all of these things do come from having good discipline. Discipline is kind of like a vague, broad topic to talk about, but it's honestly one of the reasons why successful traders are who they are and why they do so well, because they have the discipline to stick with their rules. They have the discipline to not do silly things after a trade is taken or after they've been closed out. They have the discipline to be content with winners. They're content with losing and having losing streaks and not wanting to experience going through FOMO or over trading or over leveraging, these sort of things. So discipline really does stem into a lot of these traits of becoming a profitable trader. At some point, you'll also realize that all of these things then become a system within your own mind of these markets, because now you'll begin to start taking trades now with an actual proven concept, a proven way of reaping success out of the markets, getting winning trades. And when you start to see things through a system rather than your own emotional discretion, because you're now emotionally mature as a person and you have trust in your system that is proven to work, then only then it can help you get winning trades and find consistency and profitability. And so just to kind of summarize, basically, you're essentially making an ATM machine into the markets. You've made the system, you've made the infrastructure which is going to be able to print you as much money as you want. And that's essentially what every trader wants. But unfortunately, there's a journey and stages to this, and a level of maturity that you need to reach with trading before you can see these sort of results. If you're seeing these kind of traits, and if you're seeing yourself as doing these sort of things and achieving these sort of things, then I'm sure at some point in due time, you're going to start seeing results. If you're not seeing results at the moment, then clearly it just means that there's something wrong with you, right? If you have a clear technicals of strategy, a trading plan, then obviously we know that it's something to do with you, right? And your psychology. Psychology is only needed to an extent if you take trades which are out of your plan or out of your rules. There's basically two distinct outcomes that you can come to the conclusion from after taking a trade, right? It's either within your rules or not within your rules. And if it's not within your rules, then you know that it's something to do with you. It's your fault, and you just have to take accountability, suck it up, and try and work on what it was. But then if it is within your rules and you take these losses, then fine. Just be content with that. There's no need to put a big plaster of, oh yeah, losses are losses are part of the game, losses are this, and I'll just brush it over and move on. You shouldn't really have to do that, to be honest, because although yes, losses are part of the game, you have to realize that if it's outside of your rules, then obviously it's an issue to do with you. But if it's within your rules and you're content with it and you're okay with seeing those losing streaks and you're happy to weather through them, this drawdown, then that's how you know that you've reached a level of maturity in trading and you've understood that this is part of your ATM machine, this is part of your infrastructure that you've made in the markets to be able to make you money. So, all in all, if you're seeing these signs, all these ones I've spoken about in this video, then in due time you'll find success. If not, you're definitely on the right tracks towards it. If you've almost met some of these signs or you've not seen all of them yet, then there's still something to work on, right? And sometimes that just might mean just having more experience. And experience not just in the markets, but also experiences of going through different turmoils within yourself, going through losing streaks. The only way you're going to be able to be content emotionally with going through losing streaks is by going through them multiple times. It's unavoidable. These things are unavoidable as traders, and if you want to be able to weather through them and understand how much of a minor it is as a setback, you have to go through them. There's no point being afraid of them, otherwise it's going to lead to a downward spiral of not being able to follow your rules properly. And so yeah, those are all the signs of what I think I'm at my stage in becoming consistently profitable that I've seen within myself, and hopefully this is something that you'll see in yourself sometime soon. So leave a comment down below about if you think you've met these signs as a profitable trade as a trader, and also let me know about what sort of things that you might also think it takes to be able to become a successful trader. What other signs do you think there are? So that was a quick one, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and stay happy, stay blessed, and thanks for watching.